Everybody always asks, every time we speak with anybody, they say, what is the secret sauce? Success at Premier, success at Leaf, success at ARS, what is the secret sauce? I always say the secret sauce is marketing operations, every single time. Now, that's my world. If I was a gifted salesperson like my partners, I would say, oh, it's sales. To me, this is the secret sauce in lead gen, okay? So let's go and let's talk about these 5 tips to drive growth through marketing operations. What is the secret sauce? Well, it's perfectly al dente noodles. I'm Italian, again, like I said, so it's gotta be baked all the way in. So we'll get to the next slide here. So 5 tips: who, what, where, when, and why. 5 W's, 5 tips. Hopefully explosive growth. We've witnessed it. I think if many of you take this with you, I think you will too. So the first one is audience. Who? Who are you targeting? Well, what I have found in some of our research at big companies, small companies, all companies of all different sizes, we all know the 80-20 rule. But what I found is it's actually significantly higher than that. There are companies where if you were to take your data and you were to push it through an Experian type or a TransUnion type or Think Unlimited, there's many partners like this. We are working with one right now where you can find out very easily that, oh my gosh, 92% of our revenue is coming from 19% of our efforts. It's that same rule. So how do you do that? What you have to do is you have to take your customer base, you have to send it to one of these partners, have them analyze it, find the commonalities of the people that buy it. You wouldn't be surprised. There's products out there that left-handed people love. It would never dawn on you. Never. There's products out there that you would think that, oh, this is a higher income product, or this is a lower income product. You do the math, you get the data back, and it turns out it's very different. This can expand into your creative approach. What this can do is this can allow you to say, okay, well, this person's price sensitive. Perhaps we shouldn't be pitching to them the Mercedes model, the value model. Maybe we should be pitching to them the cost savings model, the coupon model, the rebate model. So how do you take that creative approach? How do you first take your customer list, figure out what's working, and then after you figure out what's working, create a creative approach that centers around the individual that you're speaking to? Let's move on to what? Before we do, the summary of that slide, you have to know your buyer. You have to know your buyer, you have to know your non-buyer. You want to make sure, think about it, if 90% of your success comes from 20% of your partners, 20% of your sources, 20% of your zip codes, whatever it may be, there's a lot of efficiency to be left on the table, a lot. And it's about identifying that and cutting it, reinvesting it into the things that work. The next slide that we have here is what? And it's the platform. And by a show of hands, how many individuals in this room, when you run your marketing team, have your digital marketing team, your print marketing team, your event marketing team, and all these different teams that are in different areas? Show of hands. No, everybody, just one big marketing team? It's a little bright up here. What I have found is that most companies do segment it into, here's our offline team, here's our online team, here's our digital team. The challenge with that is that that is not how a consumer thinks. There's not a consumer on earth that goes into a store and goes, ooh, that's a digital ad, I'm gonna act this way. They don't care. They don't care at all. They just go, oh, that looks a lot like what I saw on the print ad. So then you're fighting over attribution, you're fighting how it works, all to have numbers on a spreadsheet that are maybe right. It's called a model, meaning that it's right, it's just, well, it's wrong, it's just how wrong is it? So the question on platform is you have to be very careful to make sure you're not over-investing in, somebody said it earlier, over-investing in specific sources, under-investing in others, simply because your spreadsheet says that this vendor does better than this vendor, but what's not taken into consideration is how consumers act when they get that other source. I don't know a person on TV who, when they see a TV commercial, goes, honey, get the phone, runs to the phone, picks it up, and is like, I'm gonna call right now. People don't do that. People are gonna go online, they're gonna search, they're gonna see a Facebook ad, they're gonna see things over time, and you have to make sure that you have the technology set up to make sure that you have that omni-channel attribution. Now, at a company like Premier, there's an order, or any other company who's not a $2, $3, $4 billion company, any company, you have to do these in a specific order. So, yeah, you're probably gonna start with the ones that are more guaranteed. You're probably going to start with more of the aggregators. Then you may branch into paid search. Then you may brand into connected TV. Then you may brand into mass media. But for us, we have 9 offices. We're not going to run TV across the country. We just simply don't have the scale. We will, but we don't yet. But that's exactly, there's an order in which you want to do this as well, and I think that's one of the most important pieces here. After what, we just really need to sum that up. Think like a consumer. Don't think like a business owner. Don't say, you're my digital team. I just need you to focus on digital and nothing else. I need you to focus on print and nothing else. I need you to focus on, because what that's going to do, there's going to be a disconnected strategy between the two. Your print ads are going to look one way. Your digital ads are going to look another. You're going to have your trade show people saying one thing. There's not going to be any continuity between them, all because you wanted to create a competitive spirit between the groups. Why don't you just start up a different company if that's the strategy? Like, it's one company, it's one marketing plan, it's one message, and you have to make sure that that's perfectly aligned.